astrologer Wonder Girl, and I am here to give you your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, June 19th to Sunday, June 25th. Now let's go ahead and take a look at your chart to see what's coming up. Gemini, this is you right here. And what we've got going on is the sun this week finishing up in your sign. So happy birthday, Gemini. I don't think I ever said that to you earlier. I'm a Gemini too. My birthday was last week. I love this time of year. I hope you had a really great birthday. And anyways, this week, the sun in your sign finishing out, which means a lot of focus for us this week is still on our identity, who we are, just kind of everything about us, what we want, where life is going. We're thinking a lot about ourselves and what we want. A lot of this is going to have to do with our hopes and dreams for the future, because the sun is making a very pretty sextile to Uranus in your 11th house of your goals and of your hopes and dreams. So you're kind of thinking about your future, where you want your life to go, what are some dreams that you have that are important to you, and perhaps how you can be more and more of yourself as you move forward. So that's what we're thinking about this week. There's also a lot going on too with people around town, how perhaps we can work better with people around town to reach some of our goals. Maybe it also brings a lot of our focus to communicating. We just want to talk about our goals and where we see our life going and who we are as we move forward. Okay, that's what I see the beginning of this week. Now, as this happens, we're coming off of a really kind of difficult transit from last week where we had the sun opposite Saturn in your 7th house of partnerships. So I think a lot of it for you last week and into this week is really trying to figure out what people you want in your life, who you want in your life, who you need to be to attract the right people into your life as you move forward. And I think you're starting to think more seriously about what people can help you reach some of your long-term goals, what people can you be more yourself with, as well as what people can help you perhaps communicate more about who you are, about where your life is going, and help you work better with people around town. Okay, so that's a lot that's going on. I don't see all this stuff being the most comfortable per se, because we do have Chiron in our 10th house of career here, squaring the sun. So maybe even though we're thinking about our goals, wanting to be more ourselves, wanting to communicate and move forward, I think maybe we're still not quite sure where our career is going, where our life is going, the overall direction of things, how other people are seeing us. I think that's still a little uncomfortable as we move forward. Okay, as that's going on, we also have the sun in a semi-square with Venus in our 12th house. So we're also not feeling quite right with ourselves and with like who we are inside either, even though we maybe have a lot of these good things going, wanting to make changes for us, wanting to reach our goals, wanting to move forward. I think we're still kind of confused perhaps about who we are inside, or not feeling the most comfortable there, or it just not feeling like we're where we want to be yet with what we feel inside and with what it is that we want deep down to bring us peace. So I think that's a big thing that is going on this week that's going to carry over. Okay, and it's going to continue mostly through most of the week, but things do change slightly on Wednesday. Okay, and that's because on Wednesday the sun moves here into Cancer, which is what this chart is drawn for on Wednesday, and Mercury and the sun are going to conjunct right on the cusp. So while we're thinking about all this stuff, I think when Wednesday comes, we're going to start to think more about our money, about our gifts and talents and our skills, about whatever it is that we can do to kind of be unique and set ourselves apart, and to attract more income to us, more money, and to bring kind of more things to us that can really help us in some way. I think we want to figure out how we can use our gifts and skills and our talents, how we can be more confident. I think that's a lot that's going on there that we begin to shift our attention to and focus on. Okay, I think a lot of this too is going to have to do with what makes us happy in some way. That's because we do have Mars in our 2nd house of income, of finances, of our gifts and talents, really trying to use those in some way to bring more joy into our lives as we move forward, with Mars making a trine to Jupiter, or sorry, a square to Jupiter in our 5th house. But I don't see it being the most easy. I see it being maybe a little difficult for us to try to figure out, okay, how can I use my gifts and talents in a way that can bring more happiness into my life? How can I bring more income, into my life to make me happy? I think it's going to be a little bit difficult in some ways. I also do see perhaps some difficulty in career as well going on, or maybe our career isn't quite going the way that we hoped or the way that we wanted it to go, having to let go of some illusions of the way that we thought our life or our career was going to be in order for us to move forward too. So having to overcome some of that stuff. And then finally at the very, very, very end of the week on Saturday, we've got Venus over here in our 12th house of spirituality and of getting right with ourselves, in a trine with Pluto in our 8th house. So while all this is going on, I think we're making some big changes inside of who we are, of what we really want, of what makes us happy and brings us peace. I think as we're reaching for a lot of these goals we have and the things we want in our life, we're gonna have to figure out how to think about ourselves differently inside, and how to get over some stuff that are holding us back, and maybe some issues from the past and some uncomfortable things, and work through some of that uncomfortableness to move forward into the future. So that's what I see for you this week. Now, your card for the week is the Queen of Cups reversed. This is interesting because this is the second week in a row I've gotten like kind of an emotional card for the Geminis. Okay, where to me this indicates that we're having problems keeping our emotions under control. We're having problems getting in touch with our emotions and what we feel deep down in our hearts. You know, and I think the message of this card this week is to pay attention to what's going on inside you. Pay attention to what's happening, what you're feeling, and deal with those feelings, and don't hide from them, and don't let them get the best of you, but do what you can to understand them and to honor them, and to accept them without getting too caught up in them or without ignoring them too much, so that you can move forward into the future, into a lot of these goals and plans, and use all of your gifts and talents that you have in a way that can really help you move forward. So that's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching your horoscope. If you like it, please like it on Facebook, like it on YouTube, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.